Buenas noches. Welcome back to another episode of the BPM podcast, your favorite podcast in the world. We're back with another episode number 83. I said 81 last time, but it was 82. And, after the 80, you get lost. You're like, hey, what's going on? No, welcome back to another episode, my good people. If you're not following me on YouTube, on Spotify, on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the links are going to be down below. Please follow, like, share, subscribe. Help me grow this channel, this podcast. I invest time. I enjoy doing it, and I hope you like it too. So, with that, we're just gonna get right into it. You know what I'm saying? I've been going 100 miles an hour for the past year, and I don't plan on stopping. Not yet. I am seeing. You ever like have goals, and sometimes you don't reach them, you don't meet them, but they're still goals. You know what I mean? Like everything's falling into place. I'm in a happy place, mentally, spiritually. Not that I'm trying to preach, you know, but everything's kind of like aligning itself for me to realize that, like, oh, when you take things, it kind of puts things in perspective. Like, hey, when you take things seriously and you go after them, you put the effort, you chase them no matter what roadblocks come on, or no matter roadblocks you get caught in between. Like, you find a way over or under it. And then if you the thing that I discovered about myself is that, like, if I tell myself, oh, maybe we can do that, like, or we're working towards it, or uh it's a process, like, kind of unsure that if it's gonna happen or not. And then I realized, like, I gotta like switch that around. I can't be halfway pregnant. I can't be like fucking sorry. I'm supposed to not cuss in the first 8 minutes, dude. I'm trying to get clean for 8 minutes. The first 8 minutes are gonna be clean right after the methadone clinic, just clean, just a little bit of a common word. There's something in my eye and I can't get it out. I've been trying all morning. Um, and It's almost like I have to reassure myself that if I'm gonna go forward with this, I'm gonna have to, like, speak to myself like I've already done it, like I've already conquered the obstacle in front of me. Because if I go with that mentality, like, oh, maybe what if I fail? What if I, if it, I accomplish it and it's not what I think? So I'm just gonna give it like half of effort, like, like 50 cents worth of effort. And then I realized, like, all right, so if I do that, I'm gonna have like that little pebble in my head that you didn't even try. You didn't even like give it your all. So now I gotta work backwards if I want to accomplish that one thing. I gotta work double, right? Lazy people don't work harder; they work double, right? You think you're doing shortcuts, but at the end of the day, you're not. You're cheating yourself out of the full experience of everything, or anything you're trying to accomplish or do. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how, like, I flipped that switch, and I don't. I've been trying to recall it in my mind to see where um I'm at. So what I was saying, I don't remember like having to ever go back and research, not research. So like I can't call back the moment that it happened where I was like, all right, fully committed to anything and everything. And if it doesn't pan out for me, it's okay. I already know that I couldn't do it, and I'm gonna move on from that. It's okay to not be great at everything when you were born perfect, and it's okay. It's a reminder that like take whatever you're doing seriously. Whatever it is, if you want to get buff, if you want to be the best gamer, if you want to be the best stand-up comic, if you want to be the best chef, if you want to be the best, whatever it is that you're doing, full commitment, and you won't have regrets that it didn't pan out. Don't try to have a plan B or a plan A and a plan C. Have goals within that plan. And I'm not preaching. I guess I am. God dang it. You know, but so everything's aligning, and I'm in a happy place. Whereas in before, I would be like, I don't deserve this. That's not for me. That like to even be happy. I don't deserve to be happy. Like I thought about that. Like seeing other people happy almost made me like sick. Like it made me like hate happy people for a little bit. And that's when I realized I was a little depressed and that I needed to work on my insecurities or work on the things that were bothering me about me. And I did it quietly. I didn't make a big announcement. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on that. I wrote it down, and every day I would look at it. I'm like, all right, this is what we need to change. This is what I have to change in order to be okay with myself. Like, I have to, it all stems from me not having parents. Sorry to bring you down this time, but it stems from not having parents. Like, the people that they're supposed to love you, they're supposed to be there, and they weren't there, and I never got a chance to like realize that I never addressed those issues. So in order for me to become the parent that I want to be for my kids, I have to address those issues. I can't just put a tablet in front of their faces and go about my day and let the tablet or the TV do the parenting. There's times for everything, right? I'd rather have conversations with them, and I think they enjoy that very much because, like, sometimes I'm like, we're driving, and sometimes we drive for a while because we got stuff to do, and the drives are anywhere from 40 to an hour, and we have time to talk, right? And I ask them about random things, and we have conversations, and that's how I gauge my parenting uh, dynamic with them. Like I want to try to see how their brain works and what their stance is on certain issues, and not like social issues, like our issues or how we should move. I always try to talk to them as they're adults. I don't want to treat them like they're little kids, even though they are, but I don't give them adult responsibilities yet. It's so all that stems from like I guess people call it imposter syndrome, where like sometimes I do feel like I'm in a room that I don't belong in, but then sometimes I question, and why do I feel that way? And how did you get to this room? I have to like clearly tell myself, how did I get into this room? What brought me to, they didn't just pick me up from the side of the street and put me in that room. No, I did something that brought me to a room where I feel like I don't belong, right? Because there's never been like that, oh, you belong feeling. You belong to somebody, or you have someone that belongs with you, not to you, but with you. Like someone belongs right next to you, or the job, or the experiences that or the life that you're experiencing, right? So having to break those feelings down was hard. It was an easy task. And to be honest, I rather had it that way because it gave me so much more of a tougher skin. Uh, Not a lot of things face me, and that's another thing I'm working on. Like, why don't I feel empathy sometimes? Like, why don't I feel bad for people, like, and their daily problems? Like, oh, my problems are the best problem, the only problems they exist. because we're so self-righteous and we want to just like that's the thing. Don't get me wrong. If I see someone injured, someone hurting, I feel empathy then. But I don't feel empathy because your roommates are talking shit about you, or because you don't have a boyfriend, or you don't have a girlfriend. That's on you. That's or because your wife doesn't love you, or whatever the case is. It's just, am I a sociopath? Because I don't like, and I have this thing. Like I guess I have the phase where people just dump on me. They tell me their life story within minutes of like meeting. You might think it's not real. I wish it wasn't real. Like sometimes, don't tell me that your mom's a crack addict. I don't need to know that thing. I don't, like, but it is how you like find bonds and like this is, and I guess like looking at it, it's like this is the worst side of me, so I'm gonna tell you the worst side of me, so you don't judge me by that. Judge me by who I am today. But pity parties are not cool. I don't feel no one's gonna. You already asked me how my day was for the third time in a row. It hasn't. I haven't even moved at all. I'm still sitting down. My day is going as your day is going. Just okay. Don't. I don't want to hear your sad story. I don't need to hear your sad story about how expensive cigarettes are. Well, then stop smoking. If you can't afford cigarettes, stop smoking. Where was I? Like, don't. Nobody wants to hear your trauma. Like, stop. Go to a specialist. I know I have the phase of like, hey, you are supposed to listen to me right now, but I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care. And that's the other thing I'm working on. I'm working on like not like caring 80% and not caring 40%. Like leave me alone. I know that math doesn't add up, but get with it. All right? Because if it's 12:30, it's almost 1 o'clock. And if you're 36, you're almost 40. I'm almost 40. Jesus Christ. Almost 40, and still haven't figured out anything. I don't know anything. And there's like this cocky 20-year-olds that think they got life figured out. They don't know their ass from their mouth yet. But yet, what is it with all like people, oh, you're such a wise person. No, I'm not. Like, just because I have endure some shitty situations doesn't make me wise. It just makes me damaged. We all have baggage. We all have dilemmas that we sweep under the rug and don't ever acknowledge them. We all have these things, right? So, why do people gravitate towards, like, if something's maybe because I don't do it, I don't share my trauma with anyone. And is it healthy? I don't think so. But I don't know any other way. I don't. I'm not gonna go to my coworkers and be like, oh, actually, I'm dealing with this. Like, no, leave that shit at home. I don't bring work to home, even though I do. But aspects of work, I don't bring. I don't discuss work with anyone of my family members unless that if they're gonna ask me about food. But that's it's just what it.
Answer your question. Food is any substance consumed by an organism for nutritional support. Food is usually of plant, animal, or fungal origin
What?
and contains essential
Alexa, stop.
nutrients.
What the hell just happened? This day just keeps giving goodies today. Like I've recorded on the same day at the same time for almost 6 months now, and I know that that's the time I have to record. I have free time. I've done everything I have to do. so I can sit down and not be interrupted. This is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that roadblocks are going to be there, so I got to prepare for them. And I know this episode makes no sense. Not at all. Um, and that's okay. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I can't change anything. I'm not trying to change anything that's out of my control. I'm just trying to change my situation for me to be better than I was yesterday. It sounds corny, it sounds catchy, it sounds cliche, but I'll bust a homeless person in the mouth. Did I tell you guys about? Yeah, I don't remember if I told you guys. I'm not gonna do all details of that, but it'd be very interesting, right? Because unlocking this like memory, this is all over the place now, guys. I'm sorry. What is the meaning of friendship? What is the meaning of a real friend? There's levels of friendship, right? There's the guy that you're cordial with. What's up, dude? Just a nod, move on with this day. Nothing in common, nothing against each other, just some random person, right? And then there's friends that always have your back. You call them 6 years later, and if they can, even though you haven't spoken in 6 years, and if it's within their abilities to give you a hand, they will. And you pick up right where you left off. And the bond is still there, even through the distance. And then there's those, I need something from you, whether it's validation, or I need borrow money, or I need to pretend that I want you to like me, but I'm not going to like you back. I'm not going to do those things that you've done for me in this friendship, air quotes, because I don't really care for nobody. Right? And I think I've been a good friend most of the time, 80-40, and then that 40% sucks, but the 80% outweighs that 40. Um, and it sucks when you're the bad friend, right? When you're the guy that is doing the bad friend shit. Like, not helping out. Like, hey, dude, I got a flat tire and I don't have my spare with me. Sorry, dude, I can't. Why are you sitting on the couch? And you choosing not to help. Or, hey, dude, I need a ride to go pick up my car at the shop. I'm not your Uber. Get yourself an Uber, dude. Shit like that, right? So, intentionally, I pushed everybody away because I wanted to deal with whatever was happening at that time by myself. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be lonely. I knew there was going to be scary, right? Because nobody should go through shit alone. Because I will be there if I can for whoever. For those close to me, I will go to be there and support. But what do you do when you're being pushed away? Do you give them the space? Do you be like, fuck it, we're not friends no more? And I made amends. And it wasn't easy to recognize that I was at fault. It wasn't easy to recognize that I fucked up. It wasn't easy to be like, you suck, right? because I'm my own worst critic. Because people's opinions of me is not my reality. The reality is that like I am trying to be better. I am trying to, but sometimes the human in me, because I'm part human, part fucking, you know, alien or something beyond human, not God. Not saying I'm trying to be God. Nope. Not saying that. Don't put words in my mouth. But I feel like sometimes I'm not normal. I'm not like everybody else. And in the same breath, I feel like I'm everybody else going through life with my fucking blinders on and and I hate that feeling. Like, oh, I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna go watch WWE, and people could say, oh, but you watch UFC. Yeah, but I don't watch it from a fan base. Like, this is my favorite fighter, and this is my favorite move. I like it all. I like the competition behind it. I like the struggle, the the like they're so crazy. They're crazy. You getting punched in the face and you're still moving forward and you're still like trying to beat this person. Like that aspect of humans, it's amazing. But like I'm not a fan. I don't have posters. I don't have pictures. I talk about it. I guess I'm a fan, you know. It's exciting. But being like a sheep is like scary when it comes I guess when it comes to my own thoughts. I don't want to like fan out or fanboy out my own way of thinking. I don't want to be like seduced to think a different way. I don't want to be cuddled to say something that's been said by someone either more popular or smarter. Maybe smarter, yeah. Yeah, smarter for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I want to have my own way of breaking things down. And I think that's what's scary. Like, I don't want to be a sheep to where, like, oh, I rely on Fox News to tell me how I feel about certain issue, or I rely on CNN to tell me how I feel about certain issue. And we know what the issue is. The issue is that we all just follow our own ideology. We're not willing to like have an open mind about things. You're an open mind about there's open marriages. And within those open marriages, there's closed doors that don't open. Right? So me saying I don't want to be a sheep like everybody else, it's just I don't want to compromise the way I unpack and like break down how I process things, how I come to conclusions and ideas and opinions and points of view. Like I want that to be, and and it is for most people, right? Because we all have a different point of view depending on how you've experienced this game, which is life. Life is a game, and you're trying to win. I'm trying to win. You're trying to win. And those that just play a little bit, and there's those that play a lot. And to be honest, it's like this constant battle. Because if I have a point of view, let's say pro life, I know it's an iffy subject. Pro life, pro choice. I can research things that will give me a strong idea on why pro choice matters. And I can also research pro-life, and I'll have a even bigger or even equally big agenda that would either sway me this way or sway me that way. But now nobody wants to do the middle. Nobody wants, or people, the middle requires work. The middle requires for you to like mentally be thinking about it, trying to see how or why you care or don't care. But the middle requires a lot of like extra, and it bothers me that like sometimes like I'll be thinking things over for days on end, right? Days on end, and I'm like, can I just stop, take a break? I can't like not disengage sometimes, and that drives me a little crazy. But it comes with who I am as a person. Like I don't disengage things when they're good or when they're bad. I don't just disengage, and that's another thing, right? Like that dog at the pound that doesn't want anyone to take his food, so he just hobbles over the bowl and eats it and barks at you. I think that's me with my brain or the way I think about things. I'm obsessed about things that I think about. It's like an obsession sometimes. Like I'm like, oh, like I wonder if like what does this car do? And then I'm like, okay, so if that car is doing this, that car is doing that, what makes this car better? Just little things like that. And I think it's brought me to now realizing like, hey, it's okay to have time off. It's okay to like take a vacation. It's okay to unwind. Because I sometimes feel like I don't deserve to unwind. I just feel like to be fucking whipped until who knows when, till I can't no more. But then I realize like, oh, that's not sustainable. That's not good for you or anyone else around you. That's not good for anyone involved in anything you're doing. You have to plan time off, and that's one of my next goals. Plan time off and stick to my guns and take it. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on working. I'll just get paid for those vacations. I'll just get the money, 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 right? But I'm selling some of my freedom to because I don't have the balls to be like, oh, I'm gonna take time off for me, time off so I can like reset everything and think about. I don't have that built in me. It's weird, but I have to do it. So with that, I know this was all over the place, and I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, everything. All under the Back Porch Mexican. I appreciate you guys, and remember, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. It ain't your army, but if you go back, look to it, you know why. Peace out, players.